Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to work with the demons and demonology, which is really interesting. Similarly to my Archangel video that I had just posted, I'm going to be talking about working with the demons. So yeah, I'm going to go over etiquette, what to do, and some misconceptions I see from people on the internet. So yeah, I'm going to start off with misconceptions I see over the internet. And I actually see this a lot from really popular light workers, actually, on the internet, which is why, you know how we say, like, you can't really believe everything that's said over the internet? This is a really good example of that. So I see a lot of light workers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers even, and they're talking about how this demon came to them and they felt so depressed and lethargic and whatever else, and they were experiencing like anxiety, or they'll have demons come to them and whatever else. No, actually. I want to just say they don't care. Like, I don't know why everyone has it in their head that these demons are going to come to them and they're going to tempt them to do all of these bad things, or demons come to them and make them experience these negative thoughts and feelings. No, that's not the case. That's not how it works whatsoever. They do not care. If this is actually a spirit, and you can confirm that it is a spirit because weird things are happening around your house, or you are having extreme night terrors, let's say it's something like that, and you know 100% it's a spirit, that's not a demon, that's a parasitic entity. Most people actually do not know the difference, which is fine, because that also comes with a lack of education on how demonology actually works, and most people don't research demonology outside of a biblical or a very short and brief biblical context, because they just aren't interested in it, which is fine. But I'm gonna say, if that's all you've done, you really don't know the difference, because there's so much knowledge on them and that you can't use that as an accurate source. So yeah, that's a parasitic entity. But let's say you're just experiencing feelings of anxiety and depression. That's not a demon, and I hate to tell you this, but like, do not bypass a negative feeling that you have as a demon trying to tempt you for something. And if you are experiencing these things for a long extended period of time, please go see a doctor or a mental health professional. Please, like, don't bypass that. That's so bad. So yeah, I just want to say that. And I see that from popular light workers, and I see that from people in my everyday life, because this is what I do. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is the misconceptions that I see about conjuring and summoning demons. So there is basically like one, in my experience, like one correct way that you can contact an entity without being disrespectful to them. And when I see people talking about demons that they conjure, I kind of cringe, because when you conjure a demon, what you're doing is you are having complete control over that demon or that entity. And most people would think, like, well, yeah, like, you kind of want that, right? Because then that means that, if you want to get it out, you can, and, they have to listen to you. Or a lot of people also assume that if you conjure them and you're in 100% control, that you are safe in that situation, because if it's bad, you can just get rid of it. And actually, no, that is not the case. Because what happens is, when you're conjuring them and have 100% control over them, you're actually kind of treating them like a zoo animal, which is going to really, really make them mad. And when you conjure them, you're also not having control over them for the rest of time. You only have that control over them basically until you close the ritual and your candles are blown out, essentially, and then they're 100% in control. And what'll happen is, because it's disrespectful and the way they view things is incredibly different from most deities I've ever seen. Is they're kind of like, well, you know what? You should have known what you were doing before you contacted me and decided to treat me poorly. So you know what? Screw you. And they're going to do what they feel like doing, whether that's just leaving or they're going to give you a nightmare or, bad karma. But they're going to make sure you know that they're saying screw you. And that's just how it is. And I heard somebody over the internet talk about their experience with Furfur, who is actually a very kind deity, to be honest. And he was saying that he conjured Furfur, and Furfur showed him a heart with like teeth piercing through it. Yet he continued to conjure him and try to contact him, and Furfur then told him that he was, and I quote, a prick and an imbecile. And yeah, and then the guy went off to say like, oh, but really good deity to work with, very good powers. Okay, sure, yeah, he's a good deity to work with, but that was a very clear no, and you should never do that. And if a deity of any kind ever shows you a sign like that or calls you those words, that is a very clear no, and you need to shut it down immediately. Like, do not continue to pursue contact with them. And a lot of people think that they need to go out and call these deities, but you don't. If they want to work with you, they will come to you first. It is the same thing with the pagan gods and goddesses. You know that they're trying to contact you because they are displaying signs, and it's them initiating the contact. And then once you figure out it's them and you are willing to work with them or something like that, you are like, yeah, sure, like, let's do this, let's whatever, if you choose to do so. But also, if you don't, then they leave. With the demons, it's the same way. If they want to contact you, if they want to work with you, or even just show up and say, hey, they will make themselves known. However, like with the archangels are more like, if you need a job done, you call to them, they do the job, and then they leave. Demons are not that way. Demons are incredibly different. And if you feel that you are in danger or something like that, and I'm not talking about danger where you need to call the police, because don't bypass that either. I'm talking about danger like with like witchcraft danger, I guess. If they feel that they're able to help you, they will. If you feel that, or if they feel you can't do it on your own, they will come to you. And that's how it is. Don't go and conjure these demons because you feel like it, or if you want to work with them, because if they wanted to be around you, they would. And that's how it is. So just going forward, if they want to work with you, they will come to you first. Now, that's your etiquette. Just keep that in mind. Do not be conjuring and summoning. Whatever. Rant over. Now let's say you figured out the demon or whatever, and they have come to you, or even sometimes they'll like show themselves to you in a dream. They don't really take on multiple different forms like angels and archangels, at least from my experience. They'll have like two ways that they'll come to you, which is like their kind of like animal version, and then they're like fallen angel look, and or their like angelic kind of appearance. That's, at least from my experience, they'll usually just take on two forms, I would say, with the exception of a few. But yeah, let's say you figured out who it is and whatever, you want to work with them, it's mutual. Great, here's your portion of the video. So I recommend getting them a candle. A lot of them don't want offerings. Always ask though, because some of them will, some of them won't. They're all kind of different. It really depends on who you're with. If they want an offering, they'll tell you. And you have to kind of go off of like, if maybe they manifest you as a bird or an owl. Well, I guess that's a bird. Anything with wings. Maybe they'll want, seeds and fresh fruits and nuts. So putting some almonds and sunflower seeds and plums. I know plums are a very popular one that they all seem to like. That would be really good. Now, when it comes to, The ones that don't want offerings, I would still recommend getting a candle, because let's say you just light that candle throughout the day, and the candle's flickering, they probably might want your attention. Or it's also good to know if their presence is near, if you know how to kind of read the candle energy. That's a good way to go. Now, please, for God's sakes, do not give them bodily fluids of any kind. Please do not do this. Oh my God. Okay, I see people doing this, and I see people talking about this. Oh, and also please do not kill anything. They will probably get so mad if you do that. I have seen people on Instagram, on TikTok, talking about killing doves or giving them urine and blood and stuff like that. Do not do that. Not only is that disgusting, and not only is just killing an animal blatantly wrong, but that is so unhygienic and gross. Please do not do that. Not only is I'm not even going to get into the killing of an animal, because I think you can already know that that's incredibly wrong, and they're going to take a lot of offense to that. But if you sign away your blood to an entity, do you know how binding that is? You've given them your DNA. And I heard somebody say, in a podcast or something, that, people talk about, giving blood to a deity, and how, if you have kids 50 years down the line, your grandchild is going to wonder why their life is messed up, and then your kid is going to have to explain to your grandchild that, grandma or grandpa did something really stupid 50 years ago. Who wants that to happen? Don't do it. Please do not do it. They will take offense, and that's also gross and unhygienic, and you're gonna, depending on how you do it, you're gonna put yourself at risk for infection. Just don't. So yeah, please choose appropriate offerings to give for your deities. I might talk about how to, or offerings to give to deities and another thing. I don't know yet, but yeah, choose appropriate offerings if they ask for it. Do not go off of what you see people talking about on the internet. If it seems fishy, it's probably because it is, and that's just something you have to kind of figure out on your own, is that, there's going to be a lot of misconceptions and a lot of false information about how these demons like to operate. So yeah, when it comes to that, just obviously be respectful, and yeah, if you really don't want to give any offerings, or you can't, playing classical music for them is something that they all seem to really enjoy. I think all of them really like Mozart and Beethoven and stuff like that. So if you have a speaker, if you can just play it on your phone while you get work done, if you have to, if you're too busy, just play some piano music or classical music just randomly in your space, and they will really appreciate that. I think that is something that they really enjoy. And I know the crystals are also really popular with them as well. Things depending on who you're working with, I know quite a few of them are very fond of amethyst crystals and hematite crystals. So yeah, like I had said, it's going to be really hard to find offerings, but if they want something enough, they will just let you know what they want in a dream. But yeah, if it starts to get kind of weird, you're probably not talking to who you think you're talking to, because I just have to put that disclaimer out there. And like I had said before, if you are feeling any negative feelings, like being overly fatigued, if you're feeling anxiety and depression or anything like that, that is probably, again, I can assure you that is not a demon. It is either a parasitic entity or something that you need to go see a healthcare professional for. And yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to touch on with the workings of demons and I don't know what you would also call them, the fallen angels. Yeah. Also, just know that some of them also too, if you are somebody who is a gun or weapon owner, keep that far away from them. They hate that. That's another thing I want to know. Do not go bragging about your gun or knife collection. They do not like violence whatsoever. But yeah, so anyways, that's just something I thought I would mention there is, yeah, but I feel like most people here probably don't have that, so I just have a feeling. But, if you do, no shame in it, but, just probably keep it away from where they might be if you have a devotional space for them. Like, other side, I'm talking other side of the house, so, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you maybe found it helpful or knowledgeable and whatever. So, yeah, if you have questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll do the best I can to answer anything, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!